All units to the bunker now.
Warning. Please run to the bunker and stay calm. Warning.
Welcome everybody to the Dobsonian Power Live! Bam! Here we go for another week with the sun. Crazy. Thank you so much, It's Scopia, for being member for 1 month, for renewing. Thank you. This is getting crazy. It was warning. And now we have the solar activity wrapping up. The guilty one. How's your week starting? Awful weather here. We had warnings from the official institutions as well, strong winds. I know that many places on the northern hemisphere are being hit by strong cold, thunderstorms, floods. Well, been tough this start of 2026, but remember that after the storm, what it comes?
The King's Son.
The King's Son, but the sun, it seems like it is very angry right now. And look at this weird and super complex sunspot group. And I want to pay attention to one thing. It looks like it does like this, right? Like a snake, where the head is here. You can see like this, the format, you see? Like a snake here. Look at the Carrington event. Sunspot group. It does the same, man. It's freaking weird. Today it's all about the King's Son.
The King's Son.
It can be. Nobody knows, man. Nobody knows. When it happens or when it will happen, it's just a matter of time. It will be with probably with warnings like this. So it's impossible for us to know. It's the King's Son. You know that we have been studying the sun and watching live streams with the sun, live as well, the solar activity in my telescopes, solar telescopes, for many time, and it's impossible to predict unless they give us some clues about it. When there are explosions, when the plasma is released, it is what we are going to do today, because the flares, the latest flares were today. I don't even know, I have to recheck if there are more, because I have already 4 X flares, strong ones. Should we run to the bunker?
Run.
One thing that you should do is hydrate for sure. Hydrate is very important. You know that during solar activity, if possible, I know that with snow, but if possible, do some grounding. Well, I know that people in the north of Europe likes to go through the snow, walk through the snow barefoot. That's awesome because as it is wet, the transmission, the charged particles, the interchange of charged particles between your body and the earth, Mother Nature, it's faster and more efficient. But it's something to take into account. And you were asking here, should I unplug everything? Look, the unplug would be if something huge comes. That will be always a safe precaution, unless it's really, really powerful and need to wipe out everything. But but the chances are higher for lower events always, no? And what I do is, first, I'm prepared with solar generators. I have solar generators that I strongly recommend you. You have at my website, dobsonianpower.com, all the things I use, the solar generators as well. You have there the links for good deals on Amazon. Strongly recommended. Now I received the 7th one. I have 7, yes. 2 of them are for the telescope. I use the big telescope, the Excalibur, that I use as it was a power bank, but as it is a large instrument, requires not a simple power bank, but something way stronger. So I have 2. While one is charging, the other one is being used in this massive, massive telescope, the Excalibur. So you see, it's something to take into account because the power outages are, well, I can tell you that in my country right now, from the last thunderstorm a few days ago, there are people, regions that still don't have any power supply. It's crazy, man. And I was thinking, man, those poor guys and girls that are there without any light, if at least they had my solar generators, they would be at least less uncomfortable. Let's say like that, right? Less uncomfortable. Solar power generators. De-unplug, it's important if there's a massive, massive event. Yes, it's important because the charged particles enter through the North and the South Pole and enter into the Earth and goes through everything that is metal. And even underneath, even in the ground, because the rocks have high conductivity. Some of them have more than the others. I can give you an example. They measure that. This is no joke, man. This is no joke. You know that I don't make fun with the sun. Well, we have fun here with it, but I take it seriously in my life. You know that. They measure that on Canada and United States. As you can see here, this is from USGS, and they measure the electrical currents under the Earth. And you can see usually they come from the north because you are closer to the north. As it gets charged, it turns yellow and then red when the charged particles are too much. Right now, we have it like this. You see the blue is not very charged. But when there are impacts of plasma from the sun, what they call the coronal mass ejections, usually take 1 to 4 days to arrive to an impact, it gets very hot here. Thank you, Sydney, for becoming a member. Thank you so much for becoming part of this wonderful crew. Talking about members, yesterday's live stream, now I'm following up. In Discord, I created a section just for that topic. If you want to help, good. Help, it's not money. It's the topic that you know already, the explorers. So it's very important for, well, it's to have fun as well with you, with your participation. So you see, this is no joke. They measure the electric charged particles that enter because it's important. Remember that on 1989, on Ontario, Canada, there was a massive power outage with millions of people without any power supply. The interesting part is that they didn't know what caused it. Back that time, 1989. Check Google, check, fact check, because this is 100% true. And a few years later, recently, actually, they discovered it was the sun. It was a solar storm that caused that power outage that melted power grids, and it was crazy, man. Millions of people without any power supply. So that's why it's very, very important to have solar generators. You can say, Tiago, but if there's a massive catastrophic event, even power generators, everything. Yeah, but that everything will be wiped out. But most events don't wipe out everything. They start with satellites, everything that is in space, and that's why I put those astronauts on the thumbnail. It's very important to be aware of what can happen. And the chances are high of lower events. But still, we still have the chance of a higher event like Carrington event that we don't know. And I was telling you that in 1984 in Canada, Ontario, they melted, the solar event melted everything. Millions were without power supply for a long time. And they didn't know back that time. They didn't, yes, the quacks, man. They didn't know back that time what happened, and recently they discovered it was the sun. So we have proof of that. If anybody joke with you or at you about, oh, the sun doesn't do anything, yes it does, and it did in the past, and it was not only this. And the Carrington event, that is the famous one, that was on 1859, so it was way long back ago, where our technology was only the telegraph, basically, and it was the technology that suffered the most back that time. Sparks everywhere, everything was crazy, and people very scared about it. Now, what can happen now is that first, they will affect the astronauts, everything that is in space. And I don't know if you thought about it, but we are having a launch of Artemis 2. They don't know very well. They gave at least from the 8th of February, that we are almost there, 7 days. But with humans, man. And they have a crew to send to International Space Station as well. And although this is what I believe always happen, although they are aware of the space weather impact on everything that is in space, also they explain how they protect themselves from radiation inside the International Space Station, which, for instance, I have a video about that, where they explain the astronauts that they have those shields on the International Space Station, but it's not enough. And they use water and other things that they can have to put around them, but water is very efficient, protecting from radiation, solar radiation, because they can't run away from it. It's very suspicious that we had 4 astronauts coming. But okay. But it's very suspicious when now they are always talking every single day, mainstream media, always talking about the Artemis mission. That is very important. I hope they are successful. We need that to evolve the mission to the moon. But they were always delaying for this, or because of that, or because of that. But although they are aware of the space weather impact on astronauts, they never talk about it. So I suspect, as we have the environment in the sun right now, with an evolving Carrington type sunspot, very fast evolving, very fast, and in a shape and behavior identical to the Carrington event on 1859, still not there yet, but it can be. I suspect they don't talk about those things like they do with Rhea Atlas, they hide it. But inside their stuff, they are worried about it. It's impossible, because we all know that it affects strongly the astronauts. And to send a mission with humans to space, a super important mission, to the moon, the Artemis 2 will turn around the moon. They will not land in the moon, they will turn around and come back. But a mission like that should be delayed because of the solar activity that is right now. It's dangerous, super dangerous. So those are the ones that are in the front line in danger. But then we have the human danger as well, not only technology that can wipe out electronics, starting with satellites, my Starlink that I don't use anymore here, but I use at home. Here I use a strong internet now. But the Starlink will be affected as well. It happened before. I think it was 2013 or something. That a bunch of them, and more often, but that year a bunch of them were knocked out by solar events. Starlink will go first for sure. But these are the shenanigans, man. You know how they work. They just to not admit that the solar impacts are dangerous to humans and to everyone on Earth because they don't want to admit because they didn't study enough. It's like 3i Atlas. Look what happened with 3i Atlas. We study. We say impose that it's a comet, not knowing. Then it was not a comet and it isn't a comet, but they try to fit the narrative. And every anomaly that surges, as we have in the sun, activity as well, every anomaly, the Quackademia says, oh, that should be something like, you know, pigs flying or something. Man, they invent whatever just to avoid saying that the probability of being alien, which I believe it is.
A freaking spaceship.
Right? And the solar activity, it happens the same. With the solar activity, they don't know enough about it. They can't explain many things about the sun. We know very little about the sun right now. And the Quackademia in the solar realm avoids to talk about that. And while other people, other scientists, they call fringe science, I call it scientists. And people that do science, you might not be a scientist, but you practice that. And people that study the sun with very closely, day after day, sharing results that they reject. And results that are valid. Related with the solar activity, the impacts on humans, the impacts on heart diseases or blood pressure. There are studies, scientific studies with that. The coronal holes impacts on earthquakes, big ones. The solar coronal mass ejections, the plasma that comes from the sun impacting the earth, triggering earthquakes as well, shallow earthquakes, 10, 30, 40, 50 kilometers, shallow depth. There are studies about that, but the Quackademia still insist in not showing them. I lost my effects. This is weird today. This is very, very weird. Very, very weird. This is very weird today. Our DNA will be activated. Who knows, man? I think it's all connected. You asked me, is 3 Atlas connected? Most likely, man. That is connected to the sun, we know because of the anti-jet, always pointing towards the sun and still pointing. I can't show you now because the weather is awful. But there's a connection. After passing closer to the sun, 3i Atlas, this all freaking weather and activity in the sun. It's a coincidence, you may say. Man, the quacks don't work, man. The quacks don't work. I just have here the quack meter. The quack meter. It's all connected, man. It's all connected, man. And they don't want to admit, and because they don't know. The thing is, what they don't know, they don't want us to know they don't know. And say, oh, we trust in these shenanigans and they don't know anything. Which is the reality. They know something, but it's very little, man. It's very little. And the things they know, and they want them to be always truth, they are always being changed. Science change, it's how science works. These are no scientists, man. The Quackademia, they are no scientists. This modern Quackademia is horrible, man. It's horrible because it doesn't allow us to evolve. It will take much more time to evolve as human beings, as a species, with these shenanigans, man. I want the Quack, man.
Run.
This works, and the Quack doesn't work. It was a reset. It's a good thing that we are aware. Very good, we can prepare. Very good, very good, very good. Very good. Now, I have things that, for instance, I have those plugs that, but that works also for thunderstorms and whatever happens in the grid. Whatever happens, and more things, weird things will happen. Well, just happened last week, I was aware now, that in Spain we had a massive blackout last year, 60 million people. 2 full countries without any power supply. Crazy stuff. Crazy. 2 full countries. Here on Europe. It's not like, you know, in the middle of Africa. Savannah. No, on Europe. And last week, they had some regions with blackout again. Strong power outages. Spain. And it was at the same time that I had here, but here was very short-lived. So this will happen more often. This will happen more often for different reasons. We are very dependent, man. Very dependent on internet, on technology, on everything. The trick is, I don't think the trick is like painting your face and act like a Rambo. No. I don't think that will be if, in case of everything wiped out. But that might not happen in our lifetime. The chances are low. We never know, but the chances are low. But a strong event can happen. Thank you, Chris Green, again for your super chat. Man, I will.
Chris Green 1605 super chatted $10. Bam MM.
Bam! Thank you so much, Chris. Again, I saw the other one.
Super shot.
Thank you so much. The trick is being creative and kind. Yeah, we don't need to be bad people to survive under these kind of circumstances. Kindness puts our frequency in a good level. But the trick is to be prepared and to deal with the situation the best as we can. But we don't need, as I was saying, we don't need to be a Rambo or whatever, you know. Like in the movies, some people get crazy with that stuff, and this, I think that's bad. I think that puts a negative frequency in everyone. The thing is to keep calm, and as I was during my blackout, to keep calm, deal with it, be prepared, have stuff with you, have generators as well. And what I do during these low solar events, I have the things. Thank you. Karate Cat. For gifting 10 new Serenians to Serenity. And Tian Fiti for being a member. I have those plugs that neutralize those charged particles. So if something happens, they don't reach for instance, this setup. I don't know if this with the sound had to be with the sun. Let me check if something is happening. Let me check. Now let me put on Noah first. Here.
It's the King's son.
Bam! I lost my effects. I don't know why. And I don't want to reset everything now. It's working. It's working, so... Thank you, Missy Lager. Thank you, Missy Lager. For the super chat. So you see, the solar activity right now is to the roof. And you can see here, hold on. You can see here the peak. This is UTC time, so it was after the live stream yesterday. Thank you, thank you.
At super chatted $1.46. It's the King's Son. BAMMMM.
It's the King's Son. Bam! It's the King's Son again. Look how it was ramping up, and the peak yesterday, or this night to me, it was the midnight, and now it stay with this baseline. It didn't fade. Thank you, GR Astro.
At GR_Astro super chatted $5. _BAM. 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 _BAM.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You see, the baseline now it's higher here. It's not over. It's not over. And now let me show you. Connecting to NASA. Come on. Okay, let me show you the size of these impressive sunspots. And then we will see if we will have the impact or not. You see the snake here? Look at this. The thing is, I'm not worried about these ones that happened already. I'm worried about from today. Because this is an evolving sunspot in complexity. You can see that it's growing and interacting a lot. And that can be seen here in the polarity. That can be seen here. Look at all these X, M, X, M, 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 all these flares. And you can see here, look, here we have the complexity of it. And you can see all the sunspots visible right now in the sun. The thing is, at the right here in this column, you see that they classify it. And this one is beta gamma delta, which is the most complex form of it. And you can see it here. Arkansas, thank you.
At Arkansas Bluesman super chatted $9.99. The truth will set us free. Red Heart. All hail the King's Son. Wait until all the plasma lightning bursts from the earth. That will be wild. I'm glad I'll be alive to see the end of the world.
Well, I hope not. I hope not. I hope not.
Hail to the king.
Hail to the King's Son, but I hope not. I hope not, man. I hope that will not happen. Well, you can see the different polarities, the minus and the plus. The minus is this, yellowish, and the plus here, the bluish. When they start to interact is where the problems come. And this is interacting a lot. Look at this. Here, this form, this shape here. Like inside all these, surrounded of all these yellowish things. It's dangerous. That's where the flares come from. And with the flares...
Mr. Lonely 68 super chatted $2.36. Collision bam collision bam collision bam collision. Hello Serenians rocket rocket.
Thank you, thank you.
At Russell B45 super chatted $6.82. You're all gonna fry. H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A ha 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 hi Chiagu.
We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. We'll see, I hope not. I'm very positive with this. I hope not, but we don't know. It's Mother Nature, man, and it's the King's Sun. But to understand, this complexity is high right now, and right at the core, at the eye of this group of sunspots, each black thing here is a sunspot. These ones are massive. Look that the Earth can fit here. You see? And all this complexity right at the eye, right at the core of it. What worries me right now, it's not what just happened. It's what might happen. Because if you notice, look at the position of it. It will be right in front of us. The last image. Can't move it. It's right in front of us. Freaking software. Monitor. It will be here. Look, it's moving, 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 and now it's here. Now it's here. 2 days it took. These are 2 days. And it will be right here in front of us. And it didn't stop right now, exploding. Bam, 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 and growing and exploding, and growing and exploding. Bam, bam, bam. When it will be, this bazooka will be right in front of us. If it explodes, who the heck knows what will happen? The thing is,
At Joni_C super chatted $1.46. The sun. The sun. J. C. The sun.
thank you so much, Johnny C. Thank you so much. The thing is, what you see here are flares. These spikes, bam, bam. The flares are radiation. The radiation comes fast. The radiation can be measured here. Can be measured here. Look. In Space Weather Prediction Center. Here. You see? Peaks of radiation. Bam! We had one here. Bam! Bam! Right here. I'm here. United States, it's here. South America. And this is what happens with radiation that takes only 8 minutes to arrive. No time for anything. Thank you, Russell, for becoming a member. And you might say, but yeah, this is all BS because nothing happens. Look, just to give you an example, I showed this many times. When we had the war on Vietnam, there were thousands of seawater mines that were triggered and exploded on the Pacific Ocean, triggered by a solar flare. Radiation only. I showed you already documentation about it. It's true, man. And the fact that they trigger earthquakes has been followed and documented by many scientists. Mainstream, the academia, don't like to admit that. Why is that, Iago? They should admit that, right? Because it's important. It's something that affects us. Because they have another agenda. Guess what agenda is? I will not tell you. I can't.
At
Thank you.
Aquarius-Witch super chatted $2. At Kathy and at Regan happy birthday cake party popper partying face.
Thank you, Russell, for renewing and be with us more than 1 year. Thank you so much. And Kathy and Regan, thank you, Aquarius. Happy birthday! directly from our friends, the aliens. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you see, they trigger stuff. They don't like to admit that. One day they will. One day they will. The thing is that I can't go deeper on that. It's forbidden. But I can give you the quack meter. The quack meter I can give to them. It's hot, hot, hot. There. So it triggers the flares. Then the flares trigger in the sun coronal mass ejections, explosions of plasma that we can see here. These are the flares, right? But if we change the way we see it, if we change the way we see it, we can see the plasma. Look, right after the flare, you see that the spike here is the flare, and here you can see the plasma being ejected. Look, before, after. You see all this plasma, and then you can see it here on the coronagraph as well. There we go. You see? There we go. Now, I was telling you yesterday in the secret chamber, and it was true. The first flares had some plasma that wasn't pointing towards the Earth. But right now we can see that it is. This is with a glitch I will show you from another perspective. Hold on. Let me show you. I got a picture that I like very much. Even the shenanigans were talking about this. Look. Of course, they will not tell you more than this. The sunspot, which is the same, AR 4366. Man, 66. What a coincidence. Thank you.
At Joni_C super chatted $1.46. Project from 1960s and now.
Most likely. Most likely. Thank you so much, Johnny C. This sunspot, 4366, looks this big over the sun surface, they say. Quack, 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 quack. A effort gives the following probabilities for the active region. Stay tuned, and then they forward to their forecast. And you can see here they measure the flares, everything. The data is important. The data is important. Hold on. The data is important. But it's important to extend the explanations and not simply put the data through the data and say nothing to be concerned about. Explain to the people. Explain. And we are a bit tired of always the same, at least I am, the same argument of, oh, it's for the people not to panic. Man, if we keep that argument, we never say the truth. Anytime. We never say the truth. Oh, because I can't, because it's the people, you know. Man, it's not like saying that Santa Claus doesn't exist with children. Come on. Can handle the truth. How many people can't? Because you shape the system in a way to put there all lives. Thank you so much for gifting 20 Dobsonian Power memberships, Rene. Thank you so much. You shape the system for the people to just treat things as idiots, man. For the people don't have to think too much. So it's your fault. You create the problem and then you say, oh, it's because people will panic. And everyone, I get shocked how everyone thinks like that. It's because, because the people, you know. And so the people that are saying, are being condescending to the others. You are treating others like idiots as well. Because when I say, if I said, I never said that, but if I said, it's better not say this in a live stream because the people in the chat will be panicking. And I was being condescending with you. I tell you what I feel because I feel that you are intelligent enough and more than me to deal with and process the information we bring here. I don't treat you as you were. They do that with us. And we have the forecast, different forecasts for this event. Well, starting by NOAA, they posted as well. We can see that before going to the forecast, that the proton rain, which is another type of radiation event, is very low here. No impacts yet, but we will have for sure. You see all green, you'll see in a few days, you'll see the difference. You see declining here, but you'll see the difference here. Now it will depend on the activity from now. They talk about the X flare, the strong one. No, this one is the X1, but we had the X8, 8.1. So very strong. Remember the X flares go. The X, it's the higher one. The X, it's the higher one. And the X flares go from 1, then 2x the strength, 3x the strength, 4x the strength, so 8x the strength of 1 x1. It's very strong. It's very strong. And the forecast they have, NOAA, is like a look. It's still here. Very, very. This baseline still holding on here. You see? Ramping up, and bam! The peak, and now we have this. Might have another one. Thank you. AV Millard for gifting 5 Dobsonian Power memberships. Welcome everyone to the Serenity. You are now an explorer. You are an explorer. The bling noise are the super chats and members. This is not good. Yes, it's not good. That's true. So the forecast they have. This is the sun. This is the earth here. The earth here and here the sun. And you see the coronal mass ejection was not very strong, man. It's a soft one. Bam! It's a soft one. It's not worrying me because it's a soft one and it will be from a side. As I said to you yesterday, it's pointing to the side, so probably nothing will happen. But now it will hit the earth. But from now, anything that can happen, caution, warning, because it might be strong and it's directly pointing towards the earth.
Warning. Please run to the bunker and stay calm. Warning.
So no joke here. No joke. And you can see here the cycle, the solar cycle. We had a peak in 2024. Then it was going back, and the projection is to go towards the solar minimum. That means the solar activity slowly, progressively will decrease. But yeah, it's already here, down here. Why is this happening now? The fact that we have the decrease on the solar activity doesn't mean, even that you are close to the minimum, that doesn't mean that massive events can't happen. Actually, many events, strong events, happen out of the solar maximum. That occurs every 11 years, roughly, on average. Every 11 years, now, in a few more years, we will start to increase again to the new solar maximum. The solar cycle number 26 will be the next one. The 25, it's this one, it's decreasing, but it's slow. And we still have events from coronal holes, from these sunspots that appear from nothing. But now is the time that we still have the sunspots. Then the sunspots will decrease with time. And new sunspots will appear closer to the poles, the north and the south poles in the sun. Those are from the new cycle already. This one is from this cycle. Still is from this cycle. So many things can happen. They will not warn you about this, man. And then people don't understand, oh, my headache and oh, my blood pressure. They don't understand, even doctors, as the institutions are so away from the solar activity. Just the ones that study the heliophysicists, those guys that work at these institutions that study the sun know, but they don't share with the world. Maybe they are not allowed. I don't know. They share just a small amount of it, or they simply don't know very well. But there are studies, man, I can show you, I have plenty of them, that show the correlation with human health as well. Look, for instance, these today earthquakes. I have right here, I will show you right away. I have this one right here, I can show you right away. The sun as a significant agent provoking earthquakes. Springer Nature. This is a scientific paper that you can download. And they correlate the activity. This time is...
At Super Chatted $5. The King's Son said go outside, bomb collision.
Thank you, Miss Haj, for being an explorer. Welcome to the spaceship. And Mr. Blue, the King's Son said go outside. Bam! I don't have the bam. I have here. It's raining here. I'm protected by the clouds. The clouds protect it. They deflect many
At
of
David
the radiation.
Jones 519 Super Chatted $5. I feel like the sun is giving the earth what it needs to survive and evolve. Just my random thoughts.
Can be.
Thank you, Chiagu and Serenitanes.
It can be that. It can be the equilibrium of the universe. It can be perfectly. I strongly believe in that balance of the universe. The universe always balances things, no? Mother Nature. Indigo, thank you so much for being an explorer. Welcome. And thank you, David Jones, for the super chat as well. I believe that, man. Can be perfectly. It's all connected, and the universe does things that we don't understand. For example, this is a study from a century of solar activity, now that we have more data. And they got a correlation with earthquakes that are higher of magnitude, higher than 6 or equal, that are strong earthquakes. All of them had a coronal hole in the sun. So this is important. But we have also associated with the health. I have many, man. I have really many studies here. I will bring just one, just as an example. Scientific studies, it's not like a posting on X by the user 25 John. No. The possible effect of space weather factors on various physiological systems of the human organism. Another scientific paper. With loads of studies here, and they found out that the blood pressure is highly affected. They study everything here, man, on a daily scale, on a... Man, this is... We got deep into this back in time. On an intraday scale, the frequencies, everything, man. The radiation, ultraviolet. Look, I'm not a scientist, but I can analyze my experience. And look that I live in a place that is full of sun. We have most of the days in a year sunlight. The sun without clouds. I'm streaming from here.
Planet Earth. Continent Europe. Country Portugal. Region Algarve. 37 latitude Bortle 5.
And I can give you my experience because I go to the beach a lot. I love to do grounding. It's a good way to do grounding, swimming in the ocean, or just simply walking on the sand. It's awesome. It recharges you. It gives you life. It's very, very good for the health. You know that. Always for the skin, the vitamin D, everything. It's needed. It's not that it's better. It's needed, the sun. You know very well that. So, I'm here for decades living, and I go to the beach and I catch loads of sun here. And even that I'm not in the beach, because here we have loads of sun every time. And I feel recharged. I don't feel bad. But during this solar maximum, I wasn't so often at the beach for a long time, me, my wife and my kids, because of that. Why, Tiago? Because I was aware of the solar activity. And if in the past, let's say 10 years ago, I didn't correlate coming back from the beach, having a very good time at the beach, enjoying everything with happiness, and arriving home with a strong headache, and I didn't realize why, and but now I understand why. Now I understand that when there are solar flares in excess, or when the proton rain is very high, or when we have impacts from coronal mass ejections, especially the proton rain, affects me if I catch too much sun. So the thing is always, as the universe demands, balance. Balance in your life, balance in everything. It's hard to get the balance, but it's something that we should do on a daily basis. And with the sun as well. So I got that balance in 2024, 23, 24, 25. I got that balance. I was here with you. You could see my face was like brownish because of the sun. That's impossible to avoid. And actually I like it. Aesthetically. I felt always energized, but I avoided in strong days of strong solar activity to be too much time on the beach. And my wife and kids, okay, it's time to go. You know, and it worked. It worked. So this is common sense. You don't have to be a scientist to have a PhD. Actually, that may harm you because you may be a scientist and belong to academia. That will make you feel like, oh, I can't correlate this because they will joke with me, they will criticize me, they will ostracize me, and I want to make a career through the Quackademia. You see the problem with every realm now with the sun? We were talking exactly about this in 3i Atlas, now with the sun again. It's always the same problem in all realms. They feel constrained and they start to programming themselves that there's no correlation with that. Should be another thing. Stress. No stress, man. I go to the beach without any stress, man. I go without stress, I can even calmer, man. It's so relaxing, the sounds of the waves of the ocean. To close the eyes to receive that solar activity in my body. To listen the children and the parents talking and playing, the children playing in the beach. Those sounds, you know, those beach sounds when you close your eyes are gorgeous, are so good. No? It can be that, David. The sun is getting in order, calibrating for our beautiful summer to come. You see how I like that positiveness? Aloha. Always positive. Another realm of the Quackademia, Matthew. The Giza pyramids. And what's beneath? They are very nervous because more people want to know. Who knows what will be the burst to the bubble they created? Might be the pyramids. They are gatekeepers there, no? They don't allow anybody, the Quackademia from archaeologists, and those are the experts in quacks. Shenanigans, 100%. They are gatekeepers of that information. They don't allow anything, and you listen to them explaining things, and doesn't convince at all, man. And you listen to other people like Graham Hancock or something explaining things and showing you why he thinks like that, and it makes sense, man. It makes sense. It's common sense. And when I explain this to you with the solar activity and I show you the scientific papers, the things that happen in my life, the things that happen to the Starlinks or whatever, and to the blackouts, power outages, it makes sense, man. Doesn't it? Talking about power outages. United States, California, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Florida. All states under power outages. See? More than usual. I love the sun and grounding in the summer. I'm in winter now. Can't ground in northern Michigan. Yes, it's a mess. Sometimes I go outside and I don't have willing. I'm not willing to do it. What I do instead, but this is me, because I don't have snow and whatever, I go to the trees. I hang on a tree and it's good for the back, you know. But I have tree. If you can do something like that, it's good. You can hug a tree. You do some gardening if you can, if you're not full of ice. But look, touching the ice, you are doing grounding as well. If you touch the ice and you play with the ice, you are touching the mother nature, and all those energies interact with you with your body. So it's good as well. Find your way. If you read a lot of snow, grounding can be done by literally hugging a beautiful tree, you see? It works, man, and it's It's a comfort. You feel connected with the tree, don't you? You feel the roots of the tree, you feel the branches of the tree, you feel the body of the tree, the trunk. And you feel something alive is with you. You don't feel that you are alone. You feel something alive, and most especially, something good. It's something that is not harmful to you. It's something that is in synchrony with you, with a good frequency as you are, and you interchange that frequency. And it's the connection to the rest of the earth, of the planet. Man, they are gone. They are gone, the times where people laugh at this kind of stuff. The ones that still laugh at this kind of stuff are completely obsolete and stuck in the past, in an obsolete past. They didn't evolve. Now from here, at least this, from here you can expand this way of thinking. But at least to be in this stage, the connection we have with the planet, that we are all connected. And this is not like being egocentric and the man and we are the best and we are technological. That's crap. It's the connection with nature. And each one of you and me, we work that connection. I do my gardening. I'm now doing gardening. Last year I started. But I also have that connection with the trees, with the plants, always had. Less with the screen, more with the nature. It's so important for the coming generations for us to insist in this the importance of this. Humans are electrical, of course. Everything is electrical. It's all about that. The atoms have electrons. Carrington event it was when the telegraphs blew up due to solar storms, exactly, in 1859. I have a video about it. Imagine now. People getting, now that we are all independent, all dependent of technology, of smartphones. Imagine, for a long time, if it's just a day like it was here, it was just a day, people were getting crazy, but then calm down. Oh, we have a power supply again. But if it's more than one day, people start getting crazy. And watching the food on the supermarkets going away and the gasoline closed, no gas. Huh. You can't change the others. Psychology. You can't change the others. You can give the example. How do you do, Tiago? You are always, most of the time, not always, of course, but most of the time you are like enjoying life. How do you do? People that ask me that have 20x the money I have, and you know, how do you do, Tiago? It's the only way they will, when they get curious, when they know it all, which is most part of people, they know it all. They know. Let them go, man. Let go. Don't put efforts on that.
Welcome to the apocalypse.
Thank you for informing us, David. So the thing is, in summary, height activity of the sun, solar sunspot Carrington-like-ish forming, not yet there, to be monitored, and high chances of further strong events Let me check if there's something happened, because it happens in the live streams that I'm streaming and bam, another one. Well, we had another M. M flip right now. To monitor the evolution of it very, very closely and see what happens. So tomorrow we will go back to the solar activity. If nothing happens, meanwhile, we'll keep moving with other topics as well. Related with extraterrestrial life. We have a post, a new post from Eviloeb. Is there life on 3i Atlas? Bam! Is there life on 3i Atlas? Let's check that. Is there life on 3i Atlas? Images of 3i Atlas in December. These. The dots. An interesting thing that I will forget if I don't tell you, because I forgot. Very, very shenanigan. Remember, I'll tell you what happened, for the ones that don't remember. The nickel without iron stuff, the stronger one to me. Remember the nickel without iron in 3i Atlas. 3i Atlas has nickel without iron, or almost no iron. It doesn't exist anything on nature like that. It always comes in a balanced correlation, nickel and iron together. Because it's when a star explodes, the stars go supernova, they explode and those elements come together. That's why it's not separated on nature. Unless you do it by design. On Earth we do that, we separate, we do an alloy, and we use to coat spaceships.
Freaking spaceships!
Remember that, to put you in context. There was no nickel without iron since the 1st of July. They analyzed no iron, full of nickel. High quantity of nickel. Then they found a little bit of iron before perihelion. Not enough. Very little. The signal of a spaceship. It crossed the perihelion. And now I showed you that, to me, it's a joke, that scientific paper the other day from the shenanigans, trying to fit the narratives with those things that they said, those jokes, trying to fit the narrative, because they didn't measure the other comets well, that's why they didn't find nickel without iron. Look, the argument's the worst possible, just to obsessively fit the academia narrative, to say it's a comet. And they said, because they found a bit more of iron. Not much, but a bit more. And they were like, oh, now you see. But what happened was that after, we have to dig into that in another day. After that study, that's the only one, because there were many, and no iron, but the only one that found a bit more of iron, after perihelion, that was saying now it will have more and more iron. They forgot one thing, that after that study, they didn't know. James Webb just made and released, I showed you the other day, the composition of 3i Atlas. And there was no iron there. Bam! So how can it be that we had no iron, then suddenly these shenanigans that I showed you the other day found a bit more of iron in their studies, said that it's growing, and it's a comet. Now it is a comet because it's growing the iron and it will be more and more. And after that, James Webb captured the components. James Webb, the best one, of 3i Atlas and 0 iron. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, bam! Isn't that weird? How can it be? Will they tell that James Webb did it wrong? Quack, 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 quack. The quack meter with this one was to the roof. I forgot the other day and man, it's important. Components: CO, CO2, dust, organics, H2O, dust, CN, dust, no iron. So let's see what AVLOF said this time. I didn't read. In history, humans survived by having kids. But they also aspired to build monuments like the pyramids to cement their mark on history. Were they humans? Are you sure, AV? The exchange of rocks between early Mars and the Earth could have led to the transfer of life between planets. Was most life in the universe seeded naturally or artificially? Bam!
Beam me up, Mr. Spock.
Interstellar gardening. Interesting. I have to read this calmly. Consider the hypothetical scenario. As soon as 3i Atlas was discovered on July the 1st, our space agencies launched an interceptor spacecraft on a trajectory designed to cross the path of the object. The spacecraft crashes into 3i Atlas as planned and deposits a capsule containing the seeds of terrestrial life into the belly of 3i Atlas. Interesting. He's saying that, imagine that the shenanigans sent a spacecraft crash into 3i Atlas when it was approaching the Earth and seeded 3i Atlas, right? Put seeds there. Capsule with seeds of terrestrial life, of human life. The capsule contains radioactive material that keeps its environment warm and allows the terrestrial life forms to evolve, multiply, and establish a stable colony of interstellar life forms inside 3i Atlas. Once 3i Atlas arrives to another planet, after traveling a lot, its surface ice sublimates. What's happening and what happened during this passage near the sun. 3i Atlas sublimated ice. And when sublimates the ice, releases the life forms on dust particles like dandelion seeds. Bam! This is a very crazy hypothesis. Very cool. So they are into the ice. As soon as it crosses a star system like our solar system, the ice sublimates, the dust has those life forms and spread it, seeding everywhere around. That's why I have problems with these clouds now. Will it be the problem? Breeding, don't you have? Of course, we can imagine that other civilizations might have done that already. After all, we are latecomers. He's right, man. Most of the stars that you see are younger than the sun. So that means that another civilization, an alien one, is older than ours, way older. So they could start earlier these seeding emissions. We might do the same and thinking that in the future. And we are talking about millions of years, not 1 century. So are there any life forms on the dust shed in 3i Atlas? Bam! Well done, Navi. The latest data from Sphere X has these molecules, blah blah blah. The most notable finding was the detection of methane. Remember, we talked about that. It's delayed production, so the methane only appeared later. And it raises questions because it's ice, hyper volatile. Why only now, the methane? However, neither Webb Space Telescope, neither Sphere X detected methane on August. Could it be that the detected methane is produced by life forms? Does 3i Atlas carry any life forms? He questioned. Crazy stuff, man. Charlatans, yes, and completely charlatans, Mr. Lager. Not AV. AV it's for the truth. AV is a bless to all of us. Let me make a test now that we are landing the spaceship. I will turn off the sound and turn on again to see if the quack appears or not. Otherwise, I will have to check it later. 1, 2, 3. Testing. No, I don't have the quacks on live stream. Something happened. Well, I will check now. Thank you very much for being here. Stay positive for the rest of the week. We will keep monitoring the sun. I'll post on Discord, on the YouTube, or on the YouTube community if something huge happens. And tomorrow we will check that again, okay? To see what can happen. This week is crucial. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.